Welcome back. The Fairfax County School Board in Virginia has approved changes to their student code of conduct, expanding punishment for students who misgender or dead name classmates. If you don't understand what this means, you're not alone. But this could result in, get this, suspensions, so students getting suspended, or referrals to law enforcement, categorizing the act as discriminatory harassment.
Joining us to discuss more are two concerned Fairfax, Virginia citizens and parents, Stephanie Lundquist-Arora and Tyler Otto. Thank you so much for joining us. Tyler, I'll start with you. So this change in harassment policy has really drawn local parents. What can you tell us about what happened at that meeting and what exactly does this mean?
Sure. So the meeting was very well attended. We had an excellent parent turnout. We had a rally prior to the meeting where cars driving by were honking in their support of our parental rights. And when we went inside, we had a vote that did not go the way that we wanted. We had an 8-4 vote, but we think that it would have been probably more of a difference if we had had more participation, more parent involvement. And we also saw that the board was debating about cell phones, and that was really kind of a secondary issue for most of us there.
Stephanie, so dead naming, that would be like if a kid wanted to be called Judy and your son or daughter called that student Tom, right? Tom would be the dead name if the kid wanted to be called Judy now?
Yes, that's right. And
so
actually,
if you do that in your schools, you could be referred to the local police department?
That's correct. And actually, this is something that's been on the book since last year. That's what the school board, that was kind of their defense. They were like, why are you even here? We did this last year. So when our students were out doing virtual unlearning during the year, they were passing this in the darkness of night down to 7th grade. So it used to be that it was for malicious misgendering and dead naming, that they could suspend our children in middle school and high school. But now that wasn't enough. They've doubled down and they want to do it in elementary school. So it was almost their defense. Like, why are you guys here? We did this last year. So we're just bringing it down into elementary school now. And I would also add that this is just symptomatic of their complete disregard for anything that parents want. This is a parents' issue. It's not a partisan issue. So they, despite the fact, as Tyler mentioned, that we showed up in large numbers, they made it a point to completely ignore us. They also, like I said, they kept our schools closed for over a year, and also hold on to your seats because they're about to pass some changes to the family life education curriculum, which are going to be completely shocking. The proposed changes on the table are that they intend to have co-ed family life education starting in 4th grade. That would include a lesson on transitioning for transgender students.
I don't get the group gender neutral bathrooms either.
No.
I don't want to go to the bathroom with women in the bathroom. I don't get that.
No. Tyler, this is affecting kids in grammar school. So that's like 1st, 2nd graders. Most of these kids don't even know how to tie their shoes. I was telling Rob during the break, my daughter, in high school, they have pronouns. And she said, well, sometimes the kids, one day they're they, the other day they're he, they change their names. So, kids are going to get in trouble and potentially going to get arrested for this.
I'm not sure about being arrested, but they certainly face suspension, and these disciplinary actions are affecting children as young as kindergarten. So we're talking about 5-year-old, 6-year-old kids who aren't even learning pronouns and grammar at that time. The policy is not only vague in nature, but also is penalizing children for simply acknowledging science, biology, and God-given sex, and it's inappropriate for children this age. But beyond that, the FCPS board is actually focusing not on the high expectations or foundational skills of education that children need, but they're radicalizing our children, they're sexualizing them, and they have no right to do that. Parents need to stand up against this.
Yeah, and parents have stood up against this, particularly in your state. Virginia, ground zero for critical race theory. You elected a Republican governor. Do you expect more changes to come when you get another crack at the ballot box this November? Stephanie, to you.
I think that real change in Fairfax County won't happen until November 2023. In terms of the school board, we do have Jim Miles on the ballot, and if he wins, I know education is one of his top priorities in addition to inflation and gas prices. So in that way, Jim Miles will do everything he can for us, but really what we need to see is a complete change of the school board. So that's not until November 2023. We've tried to recall them. It didn't work. I would say next steps for us are don't sign the code of conduct. The student rights and responsibilities is something that they try to make you sign in the beginning of the year. If you disagree with it, you shouldn't sign it. We're also hoping to see some litigation in terms of this being a just serious infringement on First Amendment rights. So in terms of what we intend to do from the grassroots level, it's going to be immediate, but real change, I think, won't happen until a little bit later.
Tyler, can you give me an example of using somebody's pronoun incorrectly? Like for a first grader, how would they go about doing that?
Sure. So if Bobby is friends with Johnny and Johnny decides that Johnny wants to be a girl and Bobby calls him Johnny after he's decided that he wants to be called Susie, then Bobby's going to be getting in trouble for doing so. And these are children that are not understanding.
And Johnny's a kindergartner, right?
Yeah, these are little kids.
In kindergarten, a very small.
Sounds fair. Yeah, that sounds good.
Meanwhile,
I'm glad we're doing that.
Meanwhile, over 27% of students in FCPS cannot read at grade level.
Right. This is exactly why it's so important for parents like you to get involved, not only in your school district, but districts across the country. Stephanie Lundquist-Arora, Tyler Otta, thank you so much. Keep us posted.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.